changing comes from within, not by moving to Berlin.
So stay friends with your Tinder dates. You don't know what's going to happen.
Become a better musician as well, since you're seeing so much people playing.
If you listen hard enough, a lot of the crowd relate all the time with, in this modern day of streaming, social media, it's really easy to lose sight of like,
So today I find myself in a kitchen, in a very full kitchen, with my favorite indie band in Berlin, Baddates. They played a song here in our kitchen. What song did you play? What was the name again?
Everything will sound better in Portuguese.
Is that the name?
Official name, it's Tudo soa melhor em português. Everything will sound better in
It
Portuguese.
did sound good in Portuguese.
Better.
Thank you.
And what kind of food suits this song? What suits the vibe of this song?
I think Hannes makes some very nice Brazilian thing.
But I think too spicy for this one.
I think like maybe
Soda,
a
yes.
good feijoada or
Like comfort one, yeah.
that's the first maybe Brazilian food that popped into my mind, a feijoada.
yeah.
What is that?
So it's actually black beans. Hannes can explain better.
Yeah, with lots of different types of meat, like pork cuts, sausages, and pork belly, pork food, whatever. And you eat together with rice. Farofa, that's made flour. Some sort of deep fried pork belly. And yeah, we eat together with some vinaigrette, some salsa. We together. So it's like whole meal that we eat together with lots of people. Can't make it just for yourself. And usually it is like drinking lots of beer and listen to some good Brazilian music.
Nice. Is it like when you get together as a band, not for rehearsal, but just to hang out? I don't know if you do that a lot. But like, what kind of food do you eat then, or who cooks?
Manikish. Yeah, it's like manikish, like this. I think it's Turkish, like these small, almost little pizzas. They have like cheese or meat or tomato sauce, like. But yeah, there's a place under Lou's apartment that makes them piping hot and perfect every time.
We used to practice there a lot, so we would always grab like 20 manikish and just like meet upstairs in my apartment.
And just for the purists, Manaish is Arab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the correction.
And who's the best cook of Bad Dates?
We haven't had a cook-off yet.
Not me.
Should have a cook-off.
Jeremy
I'll
cooks.
take you guys on.
Actually, Jeremy's
I
really
say
good.
like Jeremy or Hannes. Hannes can cook pretty
I
well.
did have your... that dish that you just mentioned. I don't want to say the name because I don't know.
That I bring you guys sometimes, the punch cures as well.
Yeah. So, to the music now, because how long have you been in a band? It's been like 2 years, I think, something like that. Because I remember I met you guys for the first time at the Korean church in Midtown. I think, was that one of your first gigs, or?
Like our sipping gig when we organized a festival.
Yeah, exactly. That was really fun. A holy nice disco prayers. Holy nice disco
It
prayers.
was the first gig outside Lou's apartment.
Yeah, like our first gig was in my apartment, and our first gig we had like 50 people in my living room or something. Yeah, that was
How are
fun.
your neighbors?
I'm grateful for them. We're not really friends after that night, but it was worth it. Never happened again.
The day of that gig.
Like videos, like I found a kid's drum set on Kleinanzeigen. Like I'm gonna buy it, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like this is gonna sound like shit." But it actually sounded pretty good. But it was quite loud for the neighbors.
Yeah.
Kids drums.
And the kids.
Or was it drum kids?
Drum
Is what I was
Kid,
seeing the
yeah.
brand.
Yeah. Drum Kids kind of saved that night in many ways, but also maybe alienated Lou's neighbors from us a little bit.
For a while, we were practicing in my living room with the kids' drums.
And that was when Laz actually met us for the first time.
Yeah. It was actually, I think that was your first gig?
It was our first gig.
Yeah. And I saw them play and I was like, they had no drummer. And after the gig, I was like, hey, you guys need a drummer, maybe?
But who played the drum kits then?
We switched off.
Oh, really?
A lot of songs were kind of acoustic, almost like how we just played this last one in the kitchen now.
So you applied basically on
Well,
the spot.
Yeah, yeah. And we just went for some practice, and I think we clicked there.
Immediately, yeah.
And now you've made your first album.
Yeah.
How do you approach songwriting as a band? Because you're with 5 people. Is this like a very democratic thing, or is there like a lead songwriter? Or how does that work for Baddates?
We can write together. We have some songs that we were jamming to it, and then we were like writing together. But then like Jeremy writes a bunch of stuff, and then I also, like me and Hannah's, we also write together. Hannah's writes, I write, everyone writes. Really,
It's
writers.
usually we get together in the studio and someone has an idea. Oh, look, guys, I wrote this. And then the rest of us riff on that and we try different stuff and maybe we tweak it a little bit. Everybody adds a little bit. So I think it's mostly a team effort.
So like there's a lot of nationalities here, I think. Can we list them very shortly? I think American, right?
Yeah, I'm from the US.
I'm from Brazil.
I'm Canadian Indian, born and raised in UAE.
I'm from Brazil as well, from São Paulo.
Okay.
And I'm Greek.
All right. But you're all based in Berlin, obviously. And what is like the influence of Berlin on your sound or on your first album? Is there an influence? How does that work?
I think we like mention Berlin and like the experience of living in Berlin like several times on our tracks. And like if you listen hard enough, you can tell, and we see a lot of the crowd relate all the time with like certain lines, you know, like moving to Berlin.
Yeah, I remember this one because the first time I really noticed this lyric, I don't remember which song it is.
São Paulo.
Sao Paulo, right. It says, changing comes from within, not by moving to Berlin. And I realized that for each one of us, that means something different because we all came here to, I don't know, seek our fortune or something. And it's a very, very weird experience because getting together with people from all around the globe and creating something like this, it's unique.
I think it's also like when the band started kind of accidental, like me and Hannah's, we used to write a lot and like we were flatmates. So that's how we started to make music. And then Jeremy moved to Berlin, and then I think we were all in like in a very transitional moment of our lives. So I think the album definitely captures like us trying to find ourselves and our friendship as well, and friends, and yeah, because we are a band, but our friends are very supportive and very like
Absolutely.
present.
Yeah, and it looks also like your concerts are also events where friend groups kind of come together, right? It seems like you have a kind of a big natural own crowd, basically.
Yeah, I guess that's the nice thing about having 5 people in the band. As much as it's definitely a lot of organization to get us all together with 5 different schedules. Like some of us work like shift work that's not always the same. Some of us working 9 to 5s. But because we can bring our different communities together, it's been like, for me, the most like supportive musical experience I've had.
Because you're an indie band, so independent, obviously. But what is like, how do you define success as an independent artist? Like, what is your, how do you measure that? When is like the album successful for you? Or when is like a year or a gig or anything?
Well, if I can speak for myself, I feel like success is when you feel like you've achieved something for you, and as many people as you can share it with, like the more the better. But I feel like coming together with these people and writing stuff and playing together and going on gigs, it's fulfilling by itself. So I feel like success is a very, subjective word.
Yeah, I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I feel very similarly. I think, it's like in this modern day of streaming, social media, and like the endless self-promotion you can do, it's really easy to lose sight of like, I think what is important for us as artists is we want to create art, we want to express ourselves and put ourselves and our ideas into the world. And as long as we're proud of it, that's like what's important. And like everything else, all the promotion, all the, getting bigger gigs or getting more streams is just to allow us to continue to make things we're proud of.
Yeah, maybe just to add, like, I think when we started, it was super organic. So none of us had any like clearly defined goals. But, when it kind of evolved into playing live in Berlin a lot, and then we recorded an album together in Amsterdam, I think we got this like collective kind of surge of this can go somewhere, and now we've played a lot in Berlin, but I think that boundary's been like pushed a little further because we're now, I guess, one of our immediate goals is to play outside of Berlin. And to me personally, like if we could play a festival, that would be, all goals reached. Time for new goals. Like he's so happy.
Looking back now at the first 2 years, what is like your highlight as a band up to now?
I think for sure recording an album. It was very special. The studio was great. It was produced by a very dearest friend of us. But we had
Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, we love you. And it was very, very special. Like we had great days as a band, and also, yeah, I feel that that's the highlight for sure.
Being in there, doing the like group vocals together and like creating new ideas in the studio. And then even the months afterwards, waiting for it to, or like working with Thomas to have it mixed and then eventually mastered, and then hearing that at the end was, wow, that was like a huge highlight for me.
And what's the reason you actually directly went for an album? Because like most bands usually start with like 1 or 2 EPs and you immediately go for the full length. What is the motivation behind that?
Well, truth is, we didn't know where this would go when we started, because we went in there actually thinking about maybe we record 5 or 6 songs, and then we saw that we could actually push it and have the quality too, because we were thinking maybe we push a little bit for more songs but maybe lower quality or something, or fewer songs and better quality of them. But it ends out that we actually worked through, and it's become something of a huge success point in our story, I feel, because being in there in the studio for like, I don't know, maybe 12 hours every day, as much as exhausting it was fulfilling as well.
Yeah.
And all the tracks, they were recorded live. So I don't know what, we were very surprised with like the chemistry of the band. So like we would have like a take, and then Thomas would be like, that's it, we got it. And then we would be like, really? And then he would be like, next song, hurry up. And I was like, how many songs did you record? And he was like, 11, and now let's do a cover. And I was like, okay. So it was very...
I mean, setting up is always the most work, obviously, for recording. Yeah, what is like the stories behind the debut album? Are there like a theme behind the album, or is it like mixed?
mix of pandemic and depression in Berlin.
Yeah, I mean, we decided to go with a self-titled album, and I think it's like because it really describes who we are, like as friends and as people. So yeah, what is Baddates about? I think a lot of it's about like friendship and community and, being an Auslander and trying to find your home very far away from where your home might be.
Berlin and the word bad dates obviously go hand in hand. Like, what is the reason behind the name Bad Date? I've heard some rumors about that, but I want to either now confirm them or...
Well, I met Hennes on Tinder, so we became like really close friends and flatmates. And then I also met Jeremy on Tinder. Like 2019 was my year of going around. Sorry. And I mean, we became pretty good friends and just decided to start a band like randomly. So we stay friends with your Tinder dates. You don't know what's going to happen.
We actually had a different name when we started the band very briefly. we were called, we never had any shows, but just our practice, we were called a Woo Girl. And that was the initial name. And then, like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm glad we changed it. But then one day Lou's like, we gotta change this. I don't feel.
Yeah, actually, I was in a festival with a friend, and Barbara, thank you, Barbara. We own you the name of our band, and then she was like, "Yeah, this name is terrible," and I was like, "Yeah, this is terrible." And then she was like, "What do you guys have in common?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, we met on Tinder." She was like, "Baddates," and I was like, "Okay." So nothing personal. Like, it's not personal. It was great, but yeah,
I mean,
Baddates.
it's a really good story, I think. That, like, it's almost too good to be true, you know, to put it in a band bio or something. Maybe Tinder will sponsor you, you know? Give you Tinder Premium
yeah.
for life.
To maybe plug Tinder again. So shout outs to Jenny. Because I met Jenny through Tinder, and she introduced me to Jeremy, and that's kind of how that was my intro to the band. And also Laz was dating Jen at the time, so
She introduced me to them.
so I mean it's a very all-encompassing name. So yeah,
It's like a very millennial fairy tale, yeah.
right. Make music with your dates. You know, they don't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remember that. Yeah, so like being a musician in Berlin or being a band in Berlin, like what are for you like the pros and the cons of this city, of being a musician in this city?
Pros, amazing artists of like kind of every level and kind of music. Definitely is the biggest pro. Yeah, I mean, they're sometimes hard to find, but a lot of places to play and people who want to come and listen to music. Yeah, great scene. Cons, I would say, is, you know, hard to find space, hard to find practice rooms. You know, no one has a car, and if you need to transport drum kits and all this, and, you know, if you need to be loud, it's hard to find a space. Yeah. What do y'all think?
Another pro, I was thinking, there's a lot of jam sessions all around.
Yeah.
So many times you can just pick up your guitar and show up and play with other people, and that's beautiful.
I think it's also very inspiring because you like if I want, I will go to gigs like every week for like twice a week. It can be overwhelming as well, but I think it's very inspiring to connect with also artists that you admire, and then you know this person is playing, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and kind of like casual. Like it doesn't feel like doesn't feel like you're so separated from artists if you go play them. Like you can talk. People are willing to talk and connect.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it kind of push you to become a better musician as well, since you're seeing so much people playing so good, so nice. Yeah.
Then a little bit more about Berlin. Is there like a restaurant you would like to recommend to our listeners or viewers?
I mean, since we're singing about Portuguese in Brazil, I would say maybe tapiocaria or café mori. Like whenever you can grab Brazilian food, go grab Brazilian food.
Agreed. I love tacos, and I think maybe in Berlin, Taqueria El Oso. RIP for now because they still have some water issues, but yeah, hopefully they're back on their feet. I need to.
They have a location near Cotti now.
They do, yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like
Check
near Goldie's.
Right next to Goldie's. Check their Instagram because their timing is kind of weird, but yeah. Shout outs to El Oso.
I like schnitzel. And I discovered this place called Schnitzery. It's also in Kotti. It's like right behind the U-Bahn station. And it's like mac and cheese, but with a schnitzel on top and different stuff. And I'm like, just take my soul.
That sounds greasy, but good.
I mean, for me, I really like Alaska bar. I like to eat small things or small portions while I drink something. So we like Alaska bar, and my I think it's in Heutestrasse. It's very close to tennis, actually. So.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I just found like my favorite pho restaurant. It's in Moabit off of, I don't know the name of the street, but it's off of Turmstrasse. And I think it's called Pho 6, but they have like the most flavorful broth. And I'm like really picky about pho because I feel like a lot of the pho I've had in Berlin has not been that good, but this hits the spot.
And then you were talking about Tennis Bar, which is a cool venue here in Berlin. But do you have like a favorite venue here in the city for playing or watching music?
We never played there, but I really love Monarch. And I'm pretty happy they're coming back because they used to like I watched like literally Alex G playing there eating Duna box and like years ago, and now they're back from the pandemic and everything, so a lot of shows, and I feel it's very cozy and the sound is pretty good. But yeah, besides that, tennis tennis bar.
Favorite venues. Rest in peace, Loophole. I guess it's coming back. Yeah, Commune and Vine is also like a really cool local venue. It's like a small. It's like a co-op almost. They don't like everyone there is a volunteer, but they're really great for for small musicians because they provide like free sound and they have like a drum set and everything. So they're really great. Like them a lot. Thanks.
And before you play a concert, do you have like a ritual? Do you do like a big band hug, or you sing a song, or what's happening in that dressing room?
We could show you.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's usually just like a little group huddle, and then we go like Baddates, and yeah, there's a little hug after, and then
Yeah, just important to remember to have fun.
we like to have fun.
No sorry in this band.
That makes sense. And are there any other artists you would recommend to our crowds / listeners / viewers here in Berlin? Artists.
Corp,
100%.
we love Corp. But yeah, here in Berlin, I don't even know if they're based here, but I've been listening to a lot of Das Beach and international music, definitely not based in Berlin, but I'm really to them right now. And yeah, of course, Miagri Martin. We love Miagri Martin. Sarah, hi. And yeah,
I want to give a shout out to Black Pope.
Black Pope is
Also really good band.
Yeah.
We had Black Pope here last year. Yeah.
Also, one of like the best voices, crazy stage presence is Toshin. They're like an Irish musician, and actually, yeah, he played at Sludgefest. Crazy performance. I think gonna do some big things. So
That
I'd
girl's
highly
got some
recommend.
pipes.
She does. Yeah, I mean, Toshin's brought me to tears multiple times, so yeah, shout outs to her. Alice Phoebe Lou, Berlin based. I mean, those Trap Tower sessions, crazy. I still nuts that they're free.
And Strong Boy, her like other band, I like them so much. So much fun.
There's a lot of good bands and a lot of albums as well, because Black Pope also released a full length. Jamie
Yeah.
Newman did a full.
Yeah.
So I think albums are making their way back.
Oh, also Group Hug, another band that's really great, and like the name is it feels like Group Hug. Yeah.
Group Hug and Baddates, that should be on one bill, I think.
Oh, one more. The Sticky Hickeys, like so
Ah.
fun, crazy, electric music, like will make you tear up the dance floor, like super fun. We're gonna play with them in May. And
They should also be on the same bill. These are like, it would all fit the Tinder bill, basically.
To add to the bill, a band from Jeremy's friend, Stay Hydrated. It's a Leipzig-based band, so a neighboring city. But yeah, we had a lot of fun playing with them, and like they have a great sound as well.
Nice. Sounds like a lot of bands I have to check out. If we talk again next year, I mean, we'll probably talk before, but if we talk again next year, what do you think will have happened within the Baddates universe? What are like your plans for that time frame?
drums kit. A real big one, like adult size.
Yeah, other and drum kit.
Are you still playing on the small drum kit? No.
No, we still have them.
yeah, shouts out Connell and the boys. We share a studio with them in like East Moon. So we're mostly using Connell's drums, and then we've also borrowed them from John Black Pope. But yeah, it's always like trying to figure out like who will share their their instruments with us. But yeah, also having the album released and like to good reception. Maybe some of the songs get picked up to have international fans. And hopefully we'll have played some festivals.
Stay tuned.
Nice. Well, I think we got it. Thanks a lot for
Thank you.
Thank
all your
you.
input. And that was it. That was fun.